Welcome to Rapid Fire Crypto Rundown. Bitcoin hit $100,000.
Wow.
Let's unpack what's next.
It really is remarkable when you think about it.
It is.
This isn't some overnight pump and dump scheme,
Right.
We're talking about 16 years
Yeah.
of innovation development and a community that never gave up on Bitcoin's potential.
It's a testament to those early adopters who held on for dear life through all the ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Remember that mental ad blocker meme?
Oh, yeah.
It feels like Bitcoin has had to overcome so much negativity and doubt to get to this point.
Absolutely. And it's not just about overcoming skepticism.
Right.
Bitcoin has weathered some serious storms over the years.
For sure.
Think about it. The Mt. Gox hack,
Oh, yeah.
the COVID-19 crash, the China ban.
Yeah.
Each of those events caused a significant price drop, but Bitcoin bounced back every time.
It's like it's built to survive anything.
It is.
And speaking of surviving, Brian Armstrong tweeted about someone who bought just $10 worth of Bitcoin back in 2010.
Wow.
Today, that $10 is worth over $200,000.
That's wild. It's an incredible example of how early adopters have been rewarded for their faith in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what's next? Where does Bitcoin go from here?
Well, the Kubisi letter shared a prediction chart with some potential price targets for Bitcoin in the future. And let me tell you, some of those numbers are pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Of course, predictions are just that, predictions.
Right.
But it does feel like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
What's particularly interesting is that this milestone comes at a time when the crypto market is showing signs of renewed strength.
Yeah.
The Milk Road newsletter actually pointed out that Solana ETFs could be launching as early as January 2025.
Hold on, Solana ETFs.
Yeah.
That's huge. Can you break down what that means for those of us who might not be total ETF experts?
Of course, an ETF or exchange-traded fund basically allows you to invest in a basket of assets like stocks, or in this case, cryptocurrencies, without having to buy each one individually. So a Solana ETF would track the price of Solana, making it easier for more people to invest in it.
So instead of having to go through the hassle of setting up a crypto wallet and figuring out how to buy Solana on an exchange, someone could just buy shares of the Solana ETF through their regular brokerage account.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
And the potential implications of this are massive.
Yeah.
It could bring a wave of new investors into the crypto space, especially those who have been hesitant to dive in directly.
It feels like we're on the cusp of something really big here.
I think so.
But why now? What's driving this sudden optimism around Solana ETFs?
There are a few key factors at play.
Okay.
First, we have a new crypto-friendly president in Donald Trump,
Okay.
and a new equally crypto-friendly SEC chair in Paul Atkins.
So the regulatory environment is looking much more favorable for crypto these days.
Exactly. And on top of that, there's a batch of Solana ETF applications that are set to hit their first deadline with the SEC on January 25th.
So we could potentially see these ETFs hitting the market within weeks.
That's the ideal scenario.
Right.
Of course, the SEC could also request some adjustments to the applications, but even that would be a positive sign.
Oh, okay.
It would show that they're seriously considering approval, which is a huge shift from their previous stance.
Okay, so let's say the SEC gives the green light to these Solana ETFs. What happens next?
Okay.
What kind of impact could this have on Solana and the broader crypto market?
Well, in the past, when grayscale products like their Bitcoin and Ethereum trusts were converted to spot ETFs, we saw a lot of selling pressure as investors cashed out.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. The Grayscale Solana Trust is relatively small, holding only $134.2 million.
So you're saying that because the Solana Trust is smaller, there's likely to be less selling pressure if it gets converted to an ETF.
Precisely, which means a potentially smoother transition and a more positive impact on Solana's price.
It's all starting to come together now, Bitcoin hitting $100,000. The potential for Solana ETFs, it really does feel like the stars are aligning for another crypto bull run.
There's definitely a sense of excitement and anticipation building in the market. But remember, it's important to stay level-headed and approach these developments with a healthy dose of caution.
You're absolutely right. We're not giving financial advice here. And it's crucial to do your own research and understand the risks involved before making any investment decisions.
With that said, the Milk Road newsletter is an excellent resource for staying informed about all the latest happenings in the crypto world.
We'll make sure to include a link in the description so you can check it out. But before we move on, I'm curious, what does Bitcoin reaching $100,000 mean for you? Do you think this is just the beginning, or are we headed for a correction?
It's a question worth pondering, and that's precisely what we'll be diving into next. We'll explore some of the where are we in the cycle. indicators that the Milk Road newsletter highlighted to get a better sense of what the future might hold for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market.
This is where it gets really interesting.
It is.
We'll be right back after a quick break.
So you're probably wondering, with all this good news, are we at the peak of the market? Have we reached the top of the roller coaster?
Yeah, it's the age-old question for investors, right?
Yeah.
Are we in a bull market, a bear market, or somewhere in between? How do we even know?
Well, that's where these "where are we in the cycle" indicators come in handy.
Okay.
The Milk Road team uses 6 specific indicators to track the market's health and look for potential signs of a peak.
So they're not just relying on vibes or gut feelings. They have, like, a system.
Exactly. Each indicator has a color-coded system.
Oh, cool.
Green means there's still room for growth. Yellow means we're getting closer to a potential peak, and red signals a market top. Now, they keep the full breakdown of these indicators exclusive for their PRO members, but they did share a little teaser.
Okay, don't leave us hanging.
Yeah.
What's the teaser? Are we flashing red alert yet?
Not quite. They mentioned that not all of the indicators have hit red yet, so that suggests there might still be some room left for this bull market to run.
So there's still a chance to ride this wave a little longer. That's good news for anyone who's feeling a little FOMO right now.
It is, but it's always wise to start thinking about profit-taking strategies, especially as those indicators move closer to the red zone, just in case things start to cool down.
Always good to have a plan.
For sure.
But enough about market cycles. From the Milk Road newsletter also had a fun section called Bite-Sized Cookies for the Road, where they round up some quick crypto news bites. Did any particularly tasty morsels catch your eye?
Oh, for sure.
Bye.
First up, Gemini is now listing meme coins. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Alongside the usual suspects like Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can now trade meme coins like Moodang, Wife Moon, and even Dote on their platform.
Wow, meme coins on Gemini. That's quite a statement. It seems like those once niche tokens are slowly but surely gaining mainstream acceptance.
It really does. And speaking of shifts in the crypto landscape, Austin Federa, Solana's strategy lead, has left the Solana Foundation.
I'm not familiar with him. Should we be reading into this?
He might not be a household name, but he played a key role in shaping Solana's strategy. So his departure definitely raises some questions about the project's future direction. It'll be interesting to see what happens next.
Okay. Anything else in those bite-sized cookies worth mentioning?
Well, you know how Mt. Gox is like that ek who keeps popping back into your life when you least expect it?
Yeah.
They're back in the headlines again. They just moved another $2.4 billion worth of Bitcoin, which, as you can imagine, has created a bit of a stir in the market.
Oh, I bet it's like a blast from the past and not necessarily a good one. Does anyone know what they're up to?
It's a bit of a mystery, honestly. And then, in a stark reminder of the volatility, and let's be honest, the risk of the meme coin world, the HIK meme coin, which just launched yesterday, has already plummeted by 90%.
Ouch, that's got to hurt. A 90% drop in just one day. That's a harsh lesson doing your research before jumping into any cryptocurrency, especially meme coins.
Absolutely not all that glitters is gold, especially in the Wild West of meme coins. Speaking of gold, remember how Bitcoin was stealing the show for a while there? Well, good news for altcoin enthusiasts. Bitcoin dominance is starting to slide downward.
Ooh, does this mean we could be entering alt season? You know, that glorious time when altcoins pump like crazy?
It's definitely a possibility. The lower Bitcoin's dominance falls, the more room there is for altcoins to shine.
So much is happening. Bitcoin reaching $100,000 potential Solana ETFs, meme coins making headlines, and maybe even the start of alt season. The crypto world never sleeps.
You got that right. But amidst all this excitement, it's crucial to remember that risk is always a factor in this space. Always do your research, understand the risks involved, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, we want to remind you that this deep dive, like all our content, is purely for informational purposes and not financial advice.
Exactly. But we do encourage you to check out the Milk Road newsletter for more insights and analysis. You can find the link in the description.
They do a fantastic job of keeping you up to date on all the latest crypto happenings in a fun and engaging way. Now, before we wrap up, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
What does Bitcoin reaching $100,000 mean for you in your view of the future of crypto?
Yeah, it's fascinating to think about how far Bitcoin has come and what this milestone could mean for the future of finance, technology, and even how we think about value itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Challenges a lot of traditional notions.
For sure.
And remember, this deep dive was just a taste of what the Milk Road newsletter offers. They cover everything from market trends and regulatory updates to meme coin madness and the latest DeFi innovations.
They do a great job.
It's like a daily dose of crypto espresso, giving you the energy and insights to navigate this exciting world.
Absolutely.
We highly recommend checking it out. The link is in the description below. But before you go, we want to leave you with something to ponder.
As Bitcoin enters this new chapter, what possibilities do you see for its role in shaping the world? How might this impact your own financial decisions or outlook on the future of technology? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share them in the comments below and be sure to join us again next time as we take another deep dive into the fascinating world of crypto.